Okay, I see there are some attendees joining the room. I'm just going to change my name here so you know who I am. All right, everyone, I also just want to make sure that you have an option to chat to everyone. Perfect. All right, welcome. We are still on, or not yet going to start. We still have a few more minutes. So while we're waiting for everybody to join the room, please open up your chat function and maybe let me know where you're logging in from. So we could just say hi on the chat and just where we are all at. I know with the startup school, we get to interact with people from all over South Africa, maybe even Africa. Maybe some of you are even logging in from other parts of the world. So it's nice to just have a sense of where we're all logging in from. Hi, Lebogang. Thank you for saying hi on the chat. Just let me know where you are logging in from. I'm logging in from this rainy Cape Town day. All right. Hi, Quovis. Hi, Gisela. Apologies for any notifications there. Somerset West. Okay, also Western Cape. Lebogang is from Johannesburg or logging in from Johannesburg. Prudence, you can just let me know where you're logging in from. Quovis is in George. Okay. Prudence is also in Johannesburg. Cool. Right, we're just waiting for other team members to log in, everyone, so be patient before we begin. Okay. Hi, Rebecca from Limpopo. Okay. Everyone, our senior business coach, Simone, has also messaged on the chat there. She's going to be chatting to you via the chat function today. So say hi to Simone. Also in Cape Town, Cecilia from KZN, and Judy's also in Cape Town. Palesa in Johannesburg, nice. For those that have just logged in, we are just introducing ourselves in the chat in the meantime before we get started. So just say hi on the chat and maybe share where you are logging in from. Okay. We got quite a few people from Johannesburg, from Quebec, and Johannesburg again. We have from Pretoria. So we're all over at the moment. Anyone from the Free State or from Northwest or in Mpumalanga, any other places, anyone from outside of South Africa, do add into the chat. There were quite a few people that said they were going to join today, so I will just wait a few more minutes because obviously we have to get used to logging in and all. So give it some time. There's Polani from Northwest, all right. We're from Josie. Shania's from Mpumalanga, there we go. So we've got almost all our provinces in. Northern Cape, maybe. Okay. For those that have just logged in, please say hi on the chat and where you're logging in from. I'm very excited to start this process with you all. I could see how engaging you are. I watched some of your applications. So I'm very, very excited about this group. We have a diverse group of people here today, clearly from all over South Africa so far. So I will begin in the next 2 minutes or so, and just sit back and relax. You will not be turning your cameras on for this webinar because there's quite a few of you here today. So the way you'll interact and chat is via the chat function today. Okay, we'll also have time for some questions later. Sipo's from Gauteng. Fantastic. Okay, so quite a few people are joining, so just give it some time. Grab your cup of coffee. Make sure you maybe have a notepad and a pen or pencil just to write down your notes for yourself if you need. But all this information should be in your orientation week that you went through last week. If you haven't gone through it, you still have time. We will also be recording this session for you, and it should be uploaded onto your dashboard. Just give me a second. I want to make sure no notifications come through. I do apologize. Okay, let's see how many people are here. There are over 100 of you that have joined this program. So hopefully most of you are able to join. But like I said, if you do have any disruptions, we are recording the session today. Okay, for those that have just joined, I was just telling everyone to please say hi on the chat and share where you're logging in from. As mentioned, both Simon and I are logging in from Cape Town. We have quite a few of you from Gauteng, Western Cape, Eastern Cape, KZN. We've got Mpumalanga, and we've got the Northwest. So maybe there's some other places there. Ashley's also logging in from George. Ashley, I know it's also cold and wet here. Very hard to get to work this morning. But if you have your cup of coffee and you're comfy, it's great. Time to focus. I find it actually a little bit better than having a really sunny day because you're very tempted to go out there and enjoy it. If it's a rainy day, I'm quite focused. Okay, Nami's logging in from Cape Town. We also have Cape Town. All right. Sometimes if I do say your name incorrectly, I do apologize. I am obviously going to get used to your names throughout this process. You can correct me at some point when we do meet again. Sanele, you're logging in from Durban. Fantastic. All right. We have about 40 of you in the room, which is great. So I think we can actually dive into this webinar today, this introduction webinar. And if there's others that join later, they can get the information later. If you do miss anything, like I said, we are recording the session. Okay, so if you haven't introduced yourself in the chat, you still can. If you've just joined, it's good to introduce yourself because we are in this journey together for the next 3 months. So get to know who you're going to be surrounded by so that you don't feel completely alone in this process. As well, if you are on the chat, make sure you're chatting to everyone and not just to the hosts and panelists so that everyone can see your messages. Okay, you could just change that settings where it says hosts and panelists, just change it over to everyone. Okay, Sarah's from Victoria. Okay, let's dive in. All right, and I want to welcome everyone. I am Tanya Maskew, one of your business coaches and the head of the program here at the Startup School. And before we get started, I want to take this moment to congratulate you all for committing to this program. Well done for just taking this impressive step to really evolve and upskill yourselves as entrepreneurs. So give yourself a round of applause, everyone. If you have the clapping feature on the chat, use that. Just really, it's great that you are taking the step for yourself and for your business. So today's meetup is really just to connect and chat about the structure of the program, maybe learn a little bit more about each other, and we'll end off with a Q&A section. Okay, so you can have some time for questions that we can cover. So I'll be going through some important points and things that you need to remember for this program and what you can expect. So you can take down notes, but like I said, this is all in the orientation, and we're using this time to really help you navigate this process a lot better. And if there isn't anything that's clear to you, we can obviously cover that as well. I'm loving all the applause in the chat function, everyone. Amazing. Okay, so first, let me start with what we're about, the Startup School. What is the Startup School? What have you joined? And I'm sure you've gone through understanding what you're going to expect because you have applied for this process. But just to reiterate and clarify, the Startup School is an online business education and development organization that is really determined to strengthen the South African entrepreneurial ecosystem, basically using our high-touch virtual education and training. So this core course offering, which you've now successfully been enrolled in, is a 12-week entrepreneurial development program. And I'm so excited. We're all super excited about the caliber of entrepreneur on this course. And we know that the course is really going to provide you with the opportunity to enhance your business plan, and really just strengthen your entrepreneurial skills. So Startup School has been running this course for over 8 years now. And we really have some wonderful stories from some of our alumni, which I'm so excited to share with you in the future. We're going to come up with some stories there. But aside from the great stories that we have, the content and the learning, we also have a really great team, and which you've maybe already been interacting with time to time now. With Simone, she may have reached out to you already. You may have engaged with her. So you have myself, one of your coaches, and I'll be here to support you and help you navigate this process. We also have our amazing coach and my colleague Simone, and she's an incredible entrepreneur coach, and we cannot wait to engage with you throughout this program. You're also going to maybe meet some other people along the way, Chris Hoskin, who's the head of the Startup School, and some of the potential judges if you go through the prize funding. So get excited. This is a great network that you're going to connect with. Now, before I go into what you can expect from the program, I really want to stress the core approach of what you're going to expect, on what your learning approach really is here. So the Startup School is not the traditional kind of educational system that we all quite used to. We are more of a system that are here to empower and support you, not necessarily test you. We're not going to say you're a terrible entrepreneur or you're a great one, you get an A. That's not what we're about. We're here to provide you with the tools and the knowledge to develop your business, rather than providing marks on your submissions. So we want to empower you to achieve your goals and objectives. So if you start seeing those shifts and changes happen, that's when you know you're winning. That's when you know you're on the right track. So don't expect a grade from us. Unless you do a quiz, you can test your knowledge, but the grading really is about how we interact with you. So that's why you have us coaches. We'll be providing qualitative feedback on your submissions. So we'll ask you questions, we'll provide feedback and facilitate your journey. You'll also have an opportunity to ask your coach questions if you're unclear about things. So really it's about setting up that action plan to shift the needle for you and your business. Okay, so let's dive into a bit more about getting to know each other, I think, so we can really understand why you've decided to join this process. And I know our mics and videos have been turned off today, so we're going to be using the chat function. And I want to maybe ask you a few questions, because now you are going to be joining a group of maybe over 2,000 other alumni entrepreneurs that have gone through this, and they've had their objectives of this process. They've reached some of their goals. They've set up their action plans, and really it's great to get to know what entrepreneurs we have with us that are actually making that entrepreneurial circle bigger and one step closer to really helping solve some of the pressing challenges that we have in South Africa. Now, I went through your applications, and there are quite a diverse group of people here with diverse ideas and businesses, and you come from different industries that are potentially solving some of these challenges that we face in South Africa. So let me actually ask you, what industry are you currently in? And it's a great way to connect as well, and take note of everyone that's in these different industries. So write into the chat for me, guys. What industry is your business currently in? Are you in education? Are we in agriculture, mining, finance? I see, Ashley, you've mentioned finances there. Logistics, maybe tech, maybe someone's in the AI space. Okay, fashion, there's another one there. Environment, we've got food and beverage. Great. Okay, we got counseling, marketing and sales, music tech. That's nice. Energy and construction, beauty industry. Fantastic. Manufacturing, education. How crazy? We have so many different ideas. It's beautiful to see. Media, hospitality. Okay. We have more beauty industry there. Beautiful. Hospitality again. We've got some more media. We've got some more education. Fantastic. These industries definitely have some challenges to solve, and that's why you're here. That's why you are an entrepreneur. So exciting. Exactly, Simone. It's so exciting just to see all these different industries between everyone. And even though you could be in similar or different industries, take note of this because this is when the networking starts. Engage on those forums, start networking with people from similar and different industries. This is also an important step for your business growth as well. And just a side note, I am aware that there were some of you struggling to connect on the community forums. We have resolved an issue. There was a bug, so I do apologize in advance. But if you are still struggling to connect, please do let me know that you are, or let someone know and send your full name and email. And we could just double check and make sure that you're on that platform and set up. Okay. But networking, most people say it's one of the biggest reasons they were successful in business. So don't forget about that. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for leaning into that check-in on your industry. So now let's also learn a little bit more. And I want to have an idea of maybe what stage you're in your business. We're all in different chapters, and even these different chapters we can learn from one another. So I'd love to get a sense of where you're at in your business. Are you still in ideation? Still thinking of your business concept? Have you started your business? Or have you been operating for a while and you're ready to scale up? So let me know if you're in ideation, just started, or ready to scale. Okay, let's see. Ideation. Fantastic that you're coming here for your ideas, everyone. Just started. Oh, we have someone ready to scale. If you're ready to scale, let me know how many years you've been operating for. Ideation, operating for a while, ready to scale. Fabulous. Ready to scale as well, Gisela. Ready to, just started. Beautiful. 8 years. Wow, Ashley, that's fantastic. I hope we can chat through some of your goals so that you could shift the needle in your business there. All right, those that have just started, I'm so happy you're here. Have this knowledge, prepare yourself, set those goals. Beautiful. Those with just an idea, it's fantastic as well because this is where it all starts. And maybe we could help you refine that idea, have a clear business model so you could feel confident in operating. Okay, beautiful. We have such a mixture of different phases here. I love it. And exactly what I just mentioned earlier. Network. There are people that are ready to scale that you could ask questions about or from. Maybe they're in the beauty industry and have 8 years of experience. Not to say that actually you're in the beauty industry. I think you said you're in the finance. But if they say for, let's say, finance, then ask Ashley questions on the net on the community. Maybe they have challenges they faced and overcame that you are busy trying to overcome. Even if you're looking for someone who can help you in accounting or marketing, you have them all here. So enjoy this process together. Fantastic. Okay, thanks everyone for letting me know about your different chapters and enjoy these different chapters. Don't try rush through it because it's not always easy to have that instant gratification. You know that the work that you put in is what you're going to get out, and make sure that you do have some kind of action plan there. Okay, so the next question I actually have for you is, from our experience, we actually found that many of entrepreneurs that went through this process, when they look back, they say that their biggest learnings were when they actually had developed their entrepreneurial mindset, they were able to manage their time, but they also had a very clear objective. So this objective really helped them through this process. And we actually do encourage you to set goals and create objectives in the orientation and in this first week of the program. So in light of this, in short, very short, what is your objective for joining the startup school? Why did you connect with us? Why did you feel like you needed to go through this process? Let me know in the chat. What are your objectives? Doesn't have to be long. It could be, I want to have clearer marketing. I wanted to connect with people. What were your objectives for joining the program? Let's hear some of them. Okay. Thank you, Simone. So, Manele needs mentorship. Okay, fantastic. We do have a coaching um, offering here, and I hope that the coaching service is really going to help you and facilitate this process for you, Simonele. Ashley, ironing out the fundamentals of entrepreneurship. Fantastic. Gather business skills for success. Okay, setting yourself up for success there. All right, gain more knowledge and mentorship. Learn more about how to succeed. Networking and marketing skills. To be equipped with the skills. Oh, sorry, it jumps a little bit, so I struggle to read. Okay, to build confidence. I like that. You will have that confidence. Regan, clear and concise planning to grow my knowledge. Gain the skills needed to take the business from startup to scale up, as well as be of impact by solving problems for clients and create employment. Nolan, I love the fact that you mentioned creating employment. That's why you're the creators of jobs here. That's what we need. And you should be incredibly proud of taking on a challenge of being an entrepreneur to solve a bigger problem. Sharpen your model there, Andile. Fantastic. Great that you're thinking of that. I want to know how to register my business and be more compliant. So, Claire, we do cover that. We don't have all the information shared to you at once, everyone. So be patient. Everything kind of builds up on each other. So, say for registration of your business, we'll probably introduce that around week 7. So just go through this process, and you'll see how we almost design it in a way that you build your business plan and learn how to pitch your idea. Okay, fantastic. I love the engagement from everyone. So thank you for sharing your objectives. This is so great to see. And remember these objectives, as I mentioned before, because this is the foundation. This is foundation to set yourself up for success. And every time you feel like you may be falling behind or things might seem a bit overwhelming with work and all that, just put this objective up for yourself. Keep looking at it. Remind yourself of why you are doing this and stick to it. Okay. Beautiful. All right, everyone. So I'm going to move on. And I actually want to start getting into the more technical and structural elements of this program. And before we do, I know that this is a new platform and new campus that you're joining, and you have to get used to it, and that's completely fine. But I want to make sure everyone is logged in and set up. That's why we had the orientation. That's why we're having this discussion today, to make sure that you're comfortable and excited to learn, and you're ready to get into the learning rhythms of this program. So I wonder if there's a raise your hand option on this chat here, or actually on this webinar. But if you find the raise your hand option, if you have logged in, please raise your hand and put the hands up there. If you haven't found it, then you could also say it in the chat. It looks like most of you are finding it. So if you have logged in, raise your hand. Get that number up. Beautiful. Okay, so we don't have too many difficulties with logging in. That's great. If you haven't logged in, that's okay. That's why we're here, to help you set up and get logged in. And so if you are struggling, please email us. I'll show you all our details on the screen just now, or WhatsApp us. I think someone's already reached out to many of you to chat about your logging in and your progress so far. So contact us and we can set you up so you can feel excited and comfortable. Okay, thank you everyone for leaning into those questions. So what I'm going to do now is just give you a bit more information on what to expect in this program. So I want to share my screen for you in this so that you have some slides as a kind of reference as we go through this process. Okay, you could lower your hands. I just want to hear, Maniti, you said you're not yet logged in. That's okay. We'll sort that out. Simon or someone, just let me know if you can see the slides on the chat. If you can see everything, if all is good. I want to make sure that you can see the slides. Thank you, Lorian. Thank you so much. Perfect. All right. So what I want to just reiterate and remind you of again is what to expect from the program. So once again, like I said, this is a 12-week online program. you had basically it's 12 topics. So you had your orientation week, that's not included, that's like the 13th week. And then you have 12 weeks following this with content. And that's what you're going to go through. And in these 12 weeks, you'll have different activities and discussion forums, potential webinars like this one. We won't have a webinar like this all the time. And you will have feedback from us coaches and plenty of knowledge. So because this is an online program, you can do this anytime from anywhere. So your commitment is up to you. You have to keep yourself accountable to stick to this process. We don't have classes. Some of you have asked about classes in the beginning. We don't run classes. We give you the content and you have activities to do with specific deadlines. Then your coaches will engage with you and write some feedback for you on your activities. And then you could ask questions and then we respond. Sometimes, like I said, we'll have sessions like this if there's something that you need a workshop on, maybe finance or your business plan and all of that. So your activities for each topic has a deadline, and that's what's important here. This is the criteria to complete the program, and that is to complete your activities. You'll have about 1 or 2 activities to complete, and once you've submitted that week or topic is done. And we call it a week because that's how long you have to go through that specific topic and complete that activity. Okay, so think of something that you could set yourself up for here to set yourself up for success so that you don't fall behind. If you fall behind in this process, it's probably not as enjoyable. So really find time that works for you. And when it comes to all the information that we share, sometimes we share a lot of extra resources in that. Cover them when you need to, but don't sweat the small stuff if you're feeling overwhelmed. Rather, maybe I always suggest read the activity first, go through what we're going to ask you, and then go through all the information that we share with you. So you could already start thinking about how you want to apply yourself in those activities. Okay. Sorry, there we go. So next, I wanted to share what opportunities and rewards can actually you can get from joining this program. So firstly, you have the opportunity to engage with coaches and experts. Some of you mentioned mentors. There's a slight difference, but you do have access to coaches and experts in the field. You'll receive personalized feedback, so from your coaches when you submit your activities. And then you'll have access to the Startup School network. Remember, I said we have around 2,000 alumni, so you're going to be joining that network. You'll also have lifetime access to the content. So all this information that we share with you, you could always log in, even after the course, just to refresh your memory and apply yourself if you need to again. You'll receive a completion certificate from us, listing all the modules that you've covered, and it's signed by us and the Investec Bank. And you'll have an opportunity to potentially apply for the competitions of up to 100,000 Rand. And remember, it's not just about entering that competition and winning the money. It's also about what you get from learning in that process. You really do learn quite a bit from pitching to investors in that. And then obviously, last but definitely not least, is all the valuable content that we'll be sharing with you. And as you become an alumni, we also have many more opportunities after you complete the program. So try complete. Trust me, you're going to be so fulfilled after that. So the next thing I want to share is the structure of this process. So this is where you just need to focus and think about how you want to plan your week. So every module that we share with you, or every week that we share with you, is structured the same way. So this week you'll have noticed we already released the first topic to you, week 1, which is developing your entrepreneurial mindset. And every week is released to you on Monday at 10 a.m. So this week, Monday, you got the first module at 10 a.m. Next week, Monday, we'll share module 2, which is also released to you at 10 a.m. So you could see each module is a week long. And throughout that week, you have time to go through the content and complete your activity. Now, the due date for those activities are normally the following Monday before midnight. So you have got the developing your entrepreneurial mindset topic now. So you have that activity to do. That one is due this coming Monday before midnight. Okay, that's Monday evening you can complete. So you can still ask us questions on Monday, but I do suggest to you complete your exercises before that Monday. It's so much easier. Complete it before the weekend and you can feel better if you can. All right, so you'll normally have about 1 or 2 activities to do and a discussion on the discussion forum. Okay, and then after you've completed your activity, the coaches will then provide feedback to you, and they have about a week or so after the deadline date to provide that feedback to you. Okay, if you don't stick to your deadlines, we cannot guarantee the feedback because the coaches are in a rhythm of providing that feedback of that current topic. So please try to submit on time. We cannot guarantee it. They could try, but we cannot guarantee it. So stick to those deadlines and remember that these activities are the completion criteria for this program. You need to complete these activities. Doesn't matter. There's no marks. Doesn't matter how good you are. Rather complete them and get that feedback, and you can complete this program successfully. Okay, fantastic. And that is the structure of the program. Straightforward. Then I just quickly want to share with you what kind of milestones you're going to be going through. Just what do these 12 weeks actually look like? So you could see you've done the orientation week. You had a week or so to go through that. If you haven't gone through it, it's not too much. You could still go through that one. That's fine. Then we have something called the boot camp. And we've mentioned this a few times. You may have noticed that in your welcome packs. The boot camp is basically a way to see if this is something for you, or for you to see, am I enjoying this? Can I do it? And it's also a way for us to see if you can keep up with the following weeks, if you are committed to this process, because you can only complete this program in the 3 months that we've scheduled. So the way to pass this boot camp is to complete the activities for week 1 and 2. So that's all you need to do. Week 1's activity and week 2's activity. Then you've shown your commitment to yourself and to us, and then you can proceed with the following weeks from week 3 to 8. And you must still remain committed and still submit your activities on time in order to complete the program successfully. And then after you follow through those weeks from week 3 to 8, you start going to the next milestone, which is something we call the split, the stream split. So remember, I asked you earlier what stage you are in with your business. If you're just starting or if you are ready to scale, this is where you let us know, and we split you guys into your different streams. So we cater for you if you're starting or scaling, and you'll continue the rest of the 4 weeks with your stream. Okay, then you'll complete the program successfully and receive all those benefits of completing the process. And then afterwards, we release to you the prize funding application, which you can, it's not compulsory to do. You can do it if you want to pitch for the 100,000 Rand prize funding. Cool. All right. Remember, we'll have time for questions after, so don't stress. And yeah, I will remind you if there's any, if you missed something there. This is the last slide here, just to share our contact details with you. So just remember, if you have any inquiries, technical inquiries especially, please contact us on info@startupschool.ac, not .ac.za, just .ac. That's our email address, and I should get back to you as soon as I can. There are quite a few of you, so just be patient with us. Same with WhatsApp. So you'll be engaging with Simone on WhatsApp. She will provide you quite a bit of assistance with your activities and on how to complete this program. And if you're falling behind, please do reach out to her there. And if you are falling behind, please do have a reason for it. And then you can also discuss with her an action plan to get back on track. Okay. Then another way of engaging with us, if you want to chat about your activities or your submissions or your business plan or anything specific related to your business, you can use the feedback tool, which I'll show to you now, to engage with your coach on that different topic. Okay. Now, let me just check if there's questions. There are some questions in the chat. So I will get back to them as soon as we have a Q&A section. Before we dive into that, I just want to show you a little bit of navigating the dashboard. Just a quick touch on that. In case you're feeling a little bit lost, I could definitely do that for you. Okay. There we go. All right. Hopefully we could all see perfectly fine. Just let me know if you can't see the slides in the chat, and then I could help. Judy, I said you can't. I see you said you can't see the slides. Just let me know if you still can't. If not, I am recording, like I said, so you could just look back at these slides if you need to. Okay. So the dashboard. How do we navigate this program? So if you have logged in, you'll already see that this is basically what your dashboard looks like. It will tell you what kind of course you're currently doing. You can view what the course is about, or you can just resume from where you left off, and you can see what activities are coming up and just your general stats there. If you're ever lost, you could always go to the left-hand side on the menu bar and see and navigate yourself there. This is the alumni portal actually, but yours looks very similar. You can see what courses you're enrolled in, and this is where you'll set your goals for your that you had in your orientation. You could also view your activities in this space here as well. Now, when you want to continue learning, the main part is the course, so you could actually just click view. Let me actually do it this way. Actually, this is an alumni one. Sorry. Let me go to your course so you can see it. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. So when you click view, you'll see just information about the course. And when you want to go through what you're going to be learning about, you just click the course outline. As you can see, there's two different streams here. So you'll see what kind of topics are involved in each stream as well. And this is also the where you could see the different topics that we'll be covering in the coming months. Now you can also note that each it's just clicking randomly. You could see that each module is released every Monday at 10 a.m. So you could also see the date that will be released to you there. So you could see week 2 is released next week, Monday at 10 a.m. That's why they grade out at this point. So if you cannot proceed with the lesson, you've probably completed your week 1. But the way to check is just to look at the different lessons that you have here and see if they have all the ticks for you there. Now, if you click continue, if you just click on the lesson, you can see this is what you'll be learning. You can play videos and you'll go through the content, and sometimes we'll have extra resources down here. You could also see the course outline down here. Now, I said if you want to just set yourself up a bit for the week, I always suggest going to the activity at the end of the week. It's always at the bottom, at the end. Read that first and then go through your learnings. So I'll click on this lesson quickly just so you could see what a lesson looks like and how to submit your activities. We'll always share some instructions. Try follow the instructions. They're very helpful for how you can complete your activity. And then there's a space here where you can upload your file. Please try upload PDF. It is better for us if you have a PDF version. And if you are struggling to upload your file, do contact us. We'll help you. After you've uploaded, click your submit button. It will go a different color than this. Obviously, I can't submit because there's nothing there, but you'll submit your assessment, and you can reset your assessment if you submitted the wrong document. You'll see all those details here, right? Once you've submitted, your coach will provide feedback, and you can find your feedback in the same space here. You'll probably get an email. You could see here, as well as you could find it in the activities section here, right? And that is how you navigate the process. Straightforward. I could also show you quickly how it looks like on a cell phone, just so you can know where to navigate on a cell phone. You could see this is the course outline. You could view the outline by clicking there. But if you ever want to find that menu bar, it's these bottom 3 stripes at the bottom, and you can navigate like that. All right. And that's it, guys. That is the platform. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. There we go. Hopefully it stopped sharing there. And I want to give you some time for questions still. So before we do that, let me see if you were actually able to capture what I was trying to say to you today and how you may be navigating the process. So let's play a game before I close off. And let's do a bit of a little test, not like for marks, like I've been saying, but let's do a test. So the way I want to have this game is I'm going to ask you a question about maybe what I was talking about earlier, and the first person to answer the question correctly wins, let's say. So you can open up your chats, all right? Have your hands ready on your keyboard because you want to be the first person, and I'll ask you a question. So we're all ready? All good? Okay, so first question, let's see if you remember. What time and day are your activities due each week? What time and day are your activities due each week? Okay, let's see who answered that question first. Okay. All right. Some of you, let me just actually hold this piece because it's just, I want to see who answered that question first. All right. We have most of you saying Monday. Oh, I think we have a winner. I think it was Marcel, or there we go, Prudence. I'm trying to see who answered first, but it's not loading there. Give me a second. There we go. Okay, Ayanda, I see you mentioned Monday at 10 a.m. You were close, but that's when the topics are released to you each week. Your submission or your due date is Monday before midnight. Okay, so just remember you have the whole day, Monday before midnight. I just want to double check here who the first person was. Sorry, I'm still struggling to see who it was, but it was Kefilwe. Well done. The first person to answer it correctly, Monday, 11:59, exactly. All right, let's try another one for this. So let me think. What is the criteria to complete this program? How do you complete this program? Who's going to answer that one first? What is the criteria? Okay, cool. I see. Let me just make sure I got the catching it the right time here. All right, we had Kafiwe. Johannes, you said online. All right. Maybe I should have asked that question a bit better. But yes, this program is online. But Sibongile, you answered correctly. Got to submit your activities. Kafiwe, you also said finish all the activities, complete the tasks. All right. So well done, Sibongile. Submit your activities on time. So that is correct. And Paul, you said getting through the boot camp. That's your way to continue with the process. But to complete this program, you need to complete all the activities for each week. All right. And if you are struggling, what do? You contact your coaches. We'll get you on board. All right. Okay. Next question. One last question, I think, would be nice. And let me see. What reward do you get out of completing this process? What opportunity or reward do you get out of completing this process? Name one. There's quite a few. Rebecca, networking. I think Rebecca got it. Oh, yes. Nice one, Rebecca. You're the first person. You said networking. Okay. Tando said the access to the 100,000 Rand funding. Be clear that it is a prize funding application, so not everyone's going to win. It's a process, but yes, you get access to pitching for investment. Let's see if there's another one here. Lami said certificate. Fantastic. All right. I like Rebecca, your first one. Mentorship, Mpo, nice one. To be a part of the alumni, Wade, that's a very cool one. Okay. Learning, Tungai, you are here. Fantastic. Okay. We have a completion certificate. Amazing. I see most of you have really found the opportunities, and I hope you resonate with many of them here. So what I am going to do is I'm going to close off that from my side and give you an opportunity to ask questions now. So well done, everyone. I can hear that you are aware of what to expect. If you're still confused about something, then you could ask. And if there's some questions that come up after the session, just email us. We're here to support you. Okay, so if you have any questions, please write them into the chat. I'll try my best to get to all of them. Or what's better, if you use the chat questions function, it will actually be a lot more helpful there. I can actually organize it a bit better. So let me know if you have any questions. Okay. And maybe Simone will answer some of them on the chat. So just take note of that. Let me see if I can make this chat bigger so I can see everyone. There we go. And you could also try make sure that your question is on everyone and not just hosts and panelists. Okay, let me cover okay, I'll get to those questions there. Let me start with the questions in the Q&A. Rosaline, you said, will there be graduations? Good question, Rosaline. We will be hosting a closing ceremony, but it will be hosted online because we want to let everyone be able to join us for that. And that's normally where we announce the prize funding winner as well. So we'll host another ceremony like this, where will be a team of us. It will be probably investors, some of the judges, and we'll close off this session for you. We're also busy chatting and organizing potentially a in-person meet and greet, but we'll obviously keep you updated on that information. I want to ask about the funding opportunity. Is this a pitching competition, and how many businesses have an opportunity to win the prize? It said anonymous there. So it's quite different each time, depending on the applications. But yes, it is a pitching competition. And most of it will take place online. And you go through a application process, and you'll see actually from the Startup School program, we actually set you up for that application. We help you set up that business plan. We help you set up that pitch, and you will submit that. And normally, most of the people that complete this program apply. So you will be applying with your cohort here. And then from that, there will be about 3 judging rounds that take place. And if you're shortlisted, you are normally asked to have a meeting with the judges as well. And then we will let you know. Sometimes, you said how many businesses win the prize in the past? Quite a few. I don't have the number actually in my head, but it's normally one business that wins this prize funding. But sometimes it can be split. And it depends on how this funding will actually help your business. So I hope that answers your question, but we'll provide a lot more information in the coming weeks when you do get to that point. Okay, so let me just see some of the questions that we get here. I tried accessing an extra resource, but they required me to be for paid subscription, Lorian. Thank you for letting me know. I think when you come across that, please do email that to me, or that link to me, or Simon, and so we could just investigate that a little bit. Is there any chance or face-to-face meetup? Like I mentioned, we sometimes have webinars where we could do meetings, but we're going to discuss potentially face-to-face meetups, but that's normally with alumni and everybody. Okay, Polani says, just to say thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm looking forward to the journey. We're also looking forward to it, Polani. Thank you for sharing. Very excited that you're here. Gisela says, when it is time to take the path between startup or scale up, would you be able to take the startup path and then complete the scale up in another module? Gisela, you are not going to miss out, let's say, on any of the streams. You will take part in that stream. So if you prefer to do startup, if you feel like you're in startup, then you continue and you submit your activities, and your coaches will provide feedback there. But after completing the program, you'll gain access to all the information on both streams. So if you feel like you're ready for scaling after doing the startup stream, you're more than welcome to look through that content. You just won't have a coach during that time. So I hope that answers your question as well. So you won't be limited with any kind of resources, just you will only gain access to that after completing. Can I get the opportunity to get registered our company? Okay, so we could chat about that when we get to that discussion in week 7 about how to register your company, and your coaches can discuss and help you with that. I see, Simon, you are answering some of the questions there, so thank you, Simon, for answering. Lebukang, let me just say, how do we network on the community platform? Where do you see other people or who they are, and maybe online? So I've just asked everyone to introduce themselves on the community platform. So if you go there, you can actually read some notes from how they've introduced themselves, what kind of business they have. So maybe you want to reply to some of them. It's normally just how it starts. And then after getting to know others, you start to see a little bit more of what they do, and how you would actually potentially want to connect with them. Another thing that we do have is, after you've become an alumni, we set up a alumni profile page that you can actually view already, with all the different alumni, with what they're doing, and how many businesses they have or how many employees they have, and you might want to try and connect with them. So reach out to us and we can make that connection. Okay. And Simone's also been great at answering all those questions. Sipo, I think your question around what's good weather for the rabbit breeding and the weather for clothes to grow, that's something that you'll discuss with your coach as you start the process, and something she'll encourage you on how to investigate and research that information as well. Tandor, is there a chance where we'll have a seminar with the different types of sections, departments with the mentors there, so we're able to engage in person? If not, will we have webinars with this opportunity, because it helps to engage with people in our fields? Personally, I get more motivated. Okay, so you want to have some kind of motivation. So we normally, the webinars that we arrange are tailored towards the group that we are engaging with. So this is something that can definitely be discussed. It is just we do want to not limit any entrepreneurs. So if you are keen to have some kind of discussion with other people, we can maybe discuss that. But at this point, we don't offer separate webinars. Okay, I would like to know the following. If I'm already part of other startup programs and currently shortlisted for further support elsewhere, is it okay to engage with Startup School at the same time? Are there any conflicts I should be aware of? Andile, there's no conflicts. That's completely fine. It's actually a win in our eyes. It's impressive that you are maybe even shortlisted in other places. So still go through this process. Don't hold yourself back. Okay. Regan, I would like to know if the completion certificate can be used as a reference for government funding, institutions or initiatives, or training attended. Okay, so it depends on the institution that you're engaging with, what their requirements are. Just so you're aware, this is not necessarily a accredited program, because you need to have graded marks to have an accreditation, but it is a recognized program by, say, for the Investec Foundation, Mr. Price Foundation. So many businesses could recognize it. And we do state what you have covered in the completion certificate. So I hope that kind of helps you. It's just maybe Regan, have a discussion with us on what the requirements are from those different institutions. Okay. Thank you. All right. Thanks, everyone. Tembi, some of us here on a bursting, we don't have access to Wi-Fi, but we want to start. Tembi, one of the requirements is to have access to data and Wi-Fi. That was one of our criteria for joining this process. So just chat to us about your Wi-Fi situation so that we can understand, and we can chat a little bit more about how you plan to go about this process, because it is an online program. Palesa, what are the benefits of being an alumni? Sure, Palesa, there's so many. We do have, like I mentioned, some of the pros of becoming an alumni. There are other competitions that you can enter with potentially higher funding. We have network opportunities. We have opportunities to showcase your business and share with our current entrepreneurs. So there's quite a few. So you'd obviously have to discuss with us. And once you go through the process, you'll understand what needs and benefits that you actually want to take hold of there. Okay, thank you, Andile. Perfect. Let's see if there's any other questions that we might have here. I hope I was able to cover most of your questions. If I haven't, please do say it again, or copy paste it, or say I haven't answered your question. Still have a tiny bit more time. Are we all good? If you're feeling good, let me know. Perfect. Okay, I'm not getting any more questions coming in. So maybe I'll give you an opportunity to still email us. Remember our email? I will actually put it into the chat here quickly, so you can copy it and paste it somewhere safe. And then maybe, Simone, if you can just add the WhatsApp support number in the chat, they can maybe take that number down as well. But she has reached out to most of you, so you should have that number there. Okay. Thank you, Judy. Thank you for your comment there. I'm glad that you enjoyed this. I hope you all have a little bit more clarity. But that's it from me, everyone. There's the WhatsApp number. Thank you, Sarah, for also adding the WhatsApp in there. So, thank you, everyone. Let's close off today's session and dive into week one, developing an entrepreneurial mindset. So, enjoy it. And I'm excited to get going and seeing what your business is all about, seeing your growth, seeing your goals. We're going to do this. We're going to have those action plans set up. You are all meant to be here, and I can see you're meant to be where you're supposed to be. But remember to always have those next steps in mind. Okay, so as we close off, I want to just see a little bit of excitement for joining. So maybe share a little, woohoo, we're ready. Let's start. Let's get into this process. Let's see. I see everyone saying thank you, but let's hear your excitement. All right, we've got some heart faces. We got let's go. Yes, beautiful. Let's go. We got some strong biceps there. Woohoo! All right, fantastic. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for making the time to connect today and for committing to this program. You're already showing your commitment to your learning, your growing, and advancing your business. I loved engaging with you today, even if it was just on the chat, and we'll engage a lot more. And I wish you all the best on your learning journey and looking forward to connecting more online. So that's a close to our session. This recording will be uploaded to your dashboard, and I will connect with you all again throughout the week. Have a fantastic week ahead, and I'll chat very soon. Bye, everyone.